Ooh, good morning, good afternoon, my retirement peeps. I'm Tiger. This is the Tiger on Fire channel, and we are talking about retirement. If you have not retired or looking at retiring anywhere from 2 to 5 years from now, and you have nothing saved up, then go check my other video. Hopefully, I'll have that linked in here somehow. I can't figure that part out. But I talked about if you plan on retiring 6 to 10 years or greater, some things that you need to probably look at. And now, if you're retiring anywhere from 2 to 5 years into getting ready to retire in 2 to 5 years, I should say, we have a checklist. So we're going to go through and see how you fare on this checklist. And I have other videos that come out on Saturday that talks about building a uh, retirement plan, a little notebook, and I kind of walk through some things that you probably should think about as a high overview. Again, everybody's plan is going to be different than mine, so that's why it's at a high overview. Um, Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's unique to their own, and the stuff I have in there is only going to apply to me and my wife for the most part. Um, my wife has her own retirement plan, and when we're figuring all this stuff out, and I still use the book to this day, and I add things and modify things, and I don't look at it every day, but I probably still look at it once, maybe once a quarter, uh, at least minimum, just to make sure that I'm on track and if I need to change anything. But anyways, 2 to 5 years, we keep talking about the retirement. Uh, and this one here is a kind of a longer list. They talk about take inventory of your financial benefits. So, are you on track to meet your retirement goals? Do you know your expected monthly expenses? We talked about that. You need to know what your expense ratios are every month, every year. How much are you expected to live on every month, every year? How much can you withdraw from your savings if you still if you have if you don't have any money coming in? You need to gather all this information. Your IRAs. Know what year and month that you can start pulling money out of your IRAs, your 401ks. How would you draw down on each of these buckets? Um, my wife and myself, we have different buckets we can pull from, and we know that at certain intervals I can withdraw different income from different buckets. So we will always have a bucket that we can pull from. Um, Decide when you will claim Social Security. Uh, there's a lot of information on Social Security. There's people that say take it as soon as you can. There's others that say wait till you're full of retirement age. Some say wait till you're 70. Leave it, leave it, girl. Chasing dang wasp again. That's all I need is a fat muzzle. Um, but I don't know. You take it when you need it. If you need the income, take it. That's my opinion. I'm not a financial guy, guru, or anything. I'm just talking about what I think, my experience, my journey. So I'm gonna try to wait to my full retirement age, but we'll see when that time comes. I still have time. I'm only 52 right now. But some things you need to do is log into your SSA. Make sure you meet the 40 credits and that you have at least 35 years of work experience, because they will take the top 35 years of earned income to figure out how much you're going to get paid every month. But if you don't have that 40 credits, then that'd be problematic too. So you need to make sure you're eligible. Uh, Luckily, I do. I've met that. My wife meets that. We know whatever. I think the only thing that's going to hurt me is okay. I stopped working. Uh, so the next, I'm 52 and until I'm 65. That's just going to be a big area gap where I'm not paying Social Security. So I probably could have more money, or maybe max it out the Social Security that I probably could get at some point. But I'd rather enjoy my life right now while I'm young. I didn't want to have to retire when I'm 60 to figure out, hey, this is the best time I should live, or however that comes about. So another thing is healthcare options in retirement. So, Cobra is only good for 18 months. You'll have to find health insurance later on. And for those that are eligible, you got Medicaid, Medicare. For folks that are younger, don't meet those requirements, we have to figure out our healthcare situation uh, through I guess, the Obamacare Act or whatever that's called. Uh, we have to figure something out. Excuse me. Or if we have a spouse that has health care, or some people go get a part time job just so they can have health care through an employer. So there's options. You got to figure out what those options are best for you. But plan on that. Think about that. Medicare.gov. Your bridge. Read the bridge to Medicare, and then try to make sure you understand all the rules and regulation from the different plans. Medicaid, Medicare. Uh, there's some things that, and I forgot the details of it, but you got to do something, and you only get one chance to do it to get it, and if you miss it, you're kind of screwed. So you need to know when to apply for certain things when it comes down to Medicaid, Medicare. Uh, so revisit your investment strategy. Again, you should always be revisiting and reviewing your investment strategy on a regular basis. Every month, every quarter, you figure out how often you want to do it, but you should be doing it a few times a year and making sure that you're on track. Do you have the proper investments allocated for your retirement? Are your assets properly diversified, uh, tax efficient? Should you do a Roth conversion? So there's all kinds of things that you need to check out. Planning. Uh, Look at your Roth or rollover or traditional Roth. 401ks. Do you roll it over? Can you? When know the rules and regulations for each investment that you have, and the tax implications, the penalties and stuff like that. Know what, like, your 401k penalties are, your Roth. Uh, you want to know the rules. So, you don't have to go in details, but hey, 10% rule, 10% penalty fee for anything you withdraw early. Uh, 55 rule. Know all the rules for your investments. Very, very important. And if your investments and you're collecting income of any sort, know that you have to pay taxes on that. And know what the tax rate is for your state and federal. So if it's a return of capital and you're just auto dripping it, you don't have to worry about paying income tax. But if it's classified as income, or you're collecting your return of capital, all of a sudden you have to pay taxes on that. So know the rules for auto dripping. And auto dripping just means auto reinvesting your dividends back into the fund that you have. Uh, you need to know all the rules, ins and outs. It's a lot of information. So writing it down in your handy dandy notebook, retirement planning notebook, it will help. Figure out what your withdrawal strategy is going to be. How much you're going to need every month. We talked about this over and over again. That's why it's important to have a budget, at least in the planning phase, to understand what it is that you withdraw. Once you're retired and you've been doing it for a while, you're going to know what your expenses are. You're going to know what you need to live off of. You can, and you probably could scale back that plan, but just know that if things get out of hand, you might have to get back into your budget again. So know what your withdrawal strategy is. Company stocks, again, are you buying company stocks? Are you getting it through the employee stock purchase plan, your 401ks? What options do you have that the company gives you? Develop a real estate plan. So are you going to downsize? Yeah, there's folks that are retiring, and we plan on downsizing too. We've been kind of slowly downsizing stuff, getting rid of things that we don't need. It's amazing how much junk you collect over the years. God bless it. Uh, so are you going to downsize? Let's see. Any special considerations that you want, or you start? Are you going to do renting? Are you going to do an RV, a home in retirement? What are you going to do? A friend of mine, good friend of mine, he retired a few months before I did. They sold their house, they moved to another city, and they have a condo that they pay rent, and it's just a home base that they have, and they take off and they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're the world travelers. I envy them. Him and his wife are retired. Their kids are all out. They retire. They're out and about, and he's out there visiting Europe, and they're maximizing their time in these countries. They get 90 days. They're spending 90 days in this country. They're renting a someplace over there, and they're experiencing the non-touristy stuff and actually exploring and doing whatever. It's amazing what they're doing. I'm so envious of them. I might have to do that too. Yeah, but we'll see. Asset protection. All right, so if you don't have a tax advisor, it's probably good to have a financial planner, a tax advisor. Figure out what do you need for insurance. What kind of policies you have. There's good. Don't just jump into. There's a lot. Most insurance, like whole life and term life. There's all kinds of different insurance. Don't just get insurance, and if they're selling you insurance and telling you how great and wonderful it is, you take a step back and rethink that. I might have to do a thing on insurance, because most insurance are scams. Most annuities are scams. A lot of people, if you go to a financial broker or anything like that, people will sell you annuities, and it's the greatest thing in the world. It sounds great. Yeah, but I get steady income for the rest of my life. Yeah, but there's a lot of downside to that they don't tell you, or you don't think about. If it's just you and you don't have anybody else, a wife or kids, yeah, maybe that might be cool. Who knows? But annuities are not that great. You build your own annuity. So, think about your health care and power of attorneys and stuff like that. Keep those things up to date. So, yeah, there's a lot to it. So, but yeah, that's your 2 to 5 years from retirement stuff that you probably should think about. Medicaid, Medicare, reinvest your strategy, withdrawal strategy, company stocks, health care, real estate, your wills, insurance. What do you have? What are you going to need to survive on? You need to revisit what you need to survive on. You're going to find out once you retire. You may not need as much money, or you might need more money. Who knows? One thing that they don't tell you, you need to take an account of taxes. So any money that you take out, it's going to get taxed. So account for taxes as well. So, but that is my 2 to 5 year retirement little checklist I have, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later, my retirement peeps.